What's up, all you legends? Welcome back to the final part 24 of our Radical Red walkthrough. I'm going to show you how to get a few cool Pokemon. We're going to battle Professor Oak. We're going to battle Red or Ash, whatever you want to call him. And this is how we get Mewtwo. We're starting with Mewtwo. In the previous video, I showed you guys how to catch Mew, and you need Mewtwo to actually do that. So I thought I'd start off the video on how to catch Mewtwo. I'm sure you know, because you do encounter him earlier on in the game when you battle Giovanni. But once you beat the Elite Four, come back to the Cerulean Cave near Cerulean City. And here's another little secret gem. When you come and fight this Karate Man, if you win, he gives you a Kubfu, which is a really cool Pokemon. And I think you can battle him twice. You battle him, and then if you leave and come back again, he'll give you another Kubfu. And one evolves into Single Strike Urshifu, and the other one evolves into Rapid Strike Urshifu. Urshifu is like a pseudo-legendary Pokemon. Really strong fighting type. I actually really like Urshifu. I think he's underrated. But yeah, that's how you get Kubfu. I think that's the only way to get him. Or you can hatch him from an egg, but the chances are really, really low. And here is a raid den in Cerulean Cave. I just wanted to show you guys. This one does house a lot of legendary Pokemon. So it's got like all the Ultra Beast Pokemon are in that raid den I found. I don't know if it's the same for yours. But I found Buzzwole, Guzzlord, all of them. I think there was about 6 or 7 Ultra Beast Pokemon in that specific raid den. You just have to come on different days. And when you go, you can change the time of day from day or night or dusk. So I recommend coming to the raid den, saving your game. First have it on daytime. See which Pokemon's in it, change to nighttime, do the same thing and dusk, and you might encounter different Pokemon for the time of day. But I did catch all the legendaries from that den over, I think, 3 or 4 days. So once you've caught like the 2 that you first encounter, come back the next day, change the times, and so on and so on. But all the Ultra Beast legendaries are there, which are really cool. And here we have found Mewtwo in the cave. I do have a Master Ball, and I'm gonna go and buy like 20 more Master Balls from the first Sevi Island I showed in the previous video, where you can go buy Master Balls for battle points. You've got to win a lot of battles, 3 battle points. Gives you 1 Master Ball, but it makes it so much easier to catch the legendaries. Now, for the next Pokemon is Marshadow. You have to come to Lavender Town, to the Pokemon Tower. You've already done that, but there's a new section now after the Elite Four. Once you're the Pokemon champion, continue through the tower. When you get to the top, there's an old man with another challenge. So this challenge is similar to the challenge I showed in the previous video for Mew in the Berry Forest. We have to challenge a few people and you can't heal your Pokemon. After each person you battle, they offer to heal only 2 of your Pokemon. So it's very similar to that, but I found this one to be way, way harder. Maybe just because of my team or the types of my team, but it was super tough. I really, really struggled with this one. Probably one of the toughest challenges in the game, honestly. But I don't know, maybe your team is completely different types, so it might be easier for you. Maybe the Berry Forest one would be more difficult. But here's the old man and the challenge. This room is full of Gengar. If Gengar sees you, you start again from the beginning, like you saw here. So you've got to avoid Gengar seeing you. I do change the speed to super slow to make it a bit easier, but it is still tricky and quite a challenge. I try and save after doing each section, otherwise it gets really frustrating starting over and over again. I didn't show the entire thing, but there is a few items down there to go and get. It's not too tricky, you can do it after a few attempts. And here's where the challenge begins. I believe there's 4 trainers here that you have to beat. They're all really tough. As you can see, my first battle, I lost 4 of my Pokemon, basically my whole team. Only had 2 left, but he did heal 2 of my Pokemon. And you have to do that on and on and on, and then you have to beat Morty again. So really, really tough. Like I said, probably the most difficult challenge in the game. And once you do defeat Morty, then you can heal your Pokemon. And here is Marshadow, the other legendary. I did go and get a whole bunch of Master Balls before I came and did this challenge. As you can see, I've got 9 Master Balls from the Battle Simulator. And we caught Marshadow, which is really cool. Another unique Pokemon. So we got Mewtwo, we got Marshadow. I showed you where to get the Legendaries in the Cerulean Cave. All the Ultra Beast Legendaries. Here's what Marshadow looks like. He's pretty strong. His base stats are 600. Next, we're going to show you how to get Heatran. So Heatran is another legendary, quite a strong legendary. We're back on the one island. You have to come to the Sevi Islands in order to try and get Heatran. If you don't know how to get to the Sevi Islands, I did make a video. Go back to, I think, part 22, how to get to the Sevi Islands. When you go to the first island, cross the sea here, and you'll get to like a little mountain area. This is where we have to go. Come and talk to this man and he'll give us a sick attack, Misty Explosion, which is quite cool. Again, I do want to remind you that all the trainers in the Sevi Islands are super tough and super strong. So make sure your Pokemon are healed and you've got your Pokeval restored. And have a couple items just in case, have a few max revives or so. We do have to push these stones and battle these trainers, and the trainers were tough. I didn't show these battles because I didn't want to waste too much time, so I skipped through them. But this is the way to go. Here are some of the Pokemon you can catch in this area. There's a lot of fire types. So if any of those interest you, come and catch them. Gotta catch them all. And there's a few rocks here. I think we're gonna try and look for items. There's nothing here. Try and avoid this girl, because I don't want to battle unless I have to. I'm pretty much all battled out with trainers at the moment. Oh, we do find an item, a Fairy Z, so that will help us allow to do Fairy-type Z moves. We can't get through there, so we have to find another way. We got another trainer to battle. We took him out, and we enter the cave. Okay, so here's Mount Ember, the path that we need to follow. Here are again some fire-type Pokemon. We got Ninetales, Arcanine. If any of those fire types interest you, come and catch some fire types or at Mount Ember. Okay, pretty straightforward. There's only one way to go, one path. Just follow the path. And we come back out, but higher up in the mountain. That's where we got stuck before. And here's a little rock puzzle that we gotta do. It's fairly easy. I love the rock puzzles, but they are quite easy if you have a bit of time to think. So we're gonna come and crush these 2 rocks with Rock Smash. And we're just gonna figure out, push, and out the way. What item do we get? Another TM. Okay, so our TMs are really piling up. when I did get to the Civi Islands, I did swap some of my Pokemon. I trained up some Legendaries. It's a good time to build up your team. Teach them all the TMs, because you pick up a whole bunch of TMs throughout the game, but you forget to teach your Pokemon new TMs. So when you get to the Civi Islands, I recommend going through all your TMs, teaching them to your Pokemon, change the nature of your Pokemon at the Pokemon Center, check the RVs and EVs of your Pokemon, train them up, get their level up, because Civi Islands is tough, so have all your Pokemon and your team maxed out and ready to go. And here we've finally made it all the way to the top. We have found Heatran and Rocket Admin. We're gonna battle Rocket Admin Archer. It's a tag team battle. It is a bit tricky, but nothing over the top. As you can see, there is Latias, Mega Latias, which is quite crazy that they've already got these legendary Pokemon in their team. But when you beat them, you will get some items, and I think they give you an Aerodactyl, if I'm not mistaken. So there we go, yep, they give you an Aerodactyl with an exclusive move, Brave Bird. So it's a unique Aerodactyl in that way. It might be useful if you like Aerodactyl and you want to use it in your team with a Mega Stone. And now you get the chance to battle Heatran as well, and you can catch Heatran. Luckily, I did have some Master Balls left on deck, so it was really easy to catch him. But that's how you get Heatran. If you didn't know, now you know. It's a cool Pokemon. I will show you the stats of Heatran now once I have it. And it's level 90 when you catch it, so it's pretty high. And here is Heatran. So it's a Fire Steel type. And his stats are pretty good. His base stats are 600, so quite strong, up there with other legendaries. Now, we're going to go on to some battles. We're going to go to where we started and come and talk to Professor Oak again. And you'll be surprised, we're going to have a Professor Oak battle, but it's a lot different from normal battles. Be prepared. It's a challenge. But you're going to battle Professor Oak. He's got a team of 6 Pokemon. Once you defeat his whole team, he then comes out and throws another team of 6 Pokemon. So you have to beat 12 Pokemon in total. You don't have any time or chance to heal your Pokemon at all. So you have to think very carefully and plan strategically. It's super tough to defeat 12 Pokemon with only 6, especially on normal difficulty or higher. But luckily, his Pokemon aren't actually super strong. I did struggle with it, but not quite like some other battles. And also my team, I've kind of tried to make a solid team that covers a lot of types and spread my team out a bit. So I think my team definitely had a big role to play in battling Professor Oak. And what you need to do in this battle is just try swap out your Pokemon as you need to. Try one-shot a lot of the Pokemon. If you can one-shot knock out 3 or 4 of his Pokemon, then you're pretty much in good stead. Try and even up the numbers a little bit more. Like Dragapult, I've mentioned earlier, he's got a few different type attacks. Fire, electric, dragon. So if you've got a Pokemon with a few different types, send them out. Try and knock out, get one-shot KOs. You basically have to knock out 2 of their Pokemon for every 1 of yours. So try to keep that kind of scale going. If you're just knocking out 1 Pokemon for 1 of your Pokemon, you're gonna get cut short. So yeah, try and knock out 2 of their Pokemon for every Pokemon you have at least. If you can knock out 3 or 4, then you should be on your way. And he definitely does have 3 or 4 tricky ones that he throws out there. Most of them are easy. A lot of them are normal types, which is quite easy to knock out if you have an electric attack. But like Mew and this Charizard, they can be pretty tricky. But I'm doing fairly well. I'm sure I'm gonna knock out Charizard now. And I have mentioned before, Mewtwo's got an attack Soul Robbery. If any Pokemon has raised its stats, you can use Soul Robbery to steal those stats, and then Mewtwo becomes even stronger. So he's like a secret weapon to have in your team. If any of the opponent Pokemon raises their speed or attack, try send out Mewtwo, try steal their raised stats, and then it will only make knocking out more of their Pokemon easier. So we did knock out Gyarados, and that was the warm-up. Professor Oak said we knocked out 6 of his Pokemon. Gyarados, Charizard, Mew, half of his team was really strong. And now he sends out the other half. They're all level 100. And Mewtwo's just hanging in there. He doesn't have much health left, but if he can attack first, he should do a lot of damage. If Pidgeot attacks first, I'm in trouble. Okay, we do attack first, and Ice Beams. Ice Beam is very effective against flying types, Ice attack, so we knocked it out one shot. Now we send out Blastoise. I've only got 2 other Pokemon left with Mewtwo. I then want to swap Mewtwo out because his attacks aren't too effective against Blastoise. Try to keep him alive because his speed is really fast. See if Hooper can knock him out, or at least knock out 2 of his Pokemon. I want to try to keep Mewtwo alive because his speed is really quick. You need those first shot hitters in your team. This can really make a difference. So I don't want Mewtwo to die, even though he's got such a little bit of health. Okay, we knock out Blastoise, but Hooper does take a lot of damage. I did give Hooper leftovers, so hopefully he can heal and get a few one-shots in. If he can knock out another Pokemon, I should be good. I think we need to swap now to Kyurem. Hooper isn't really strong against electric types, so you just gotta be aware. If you send out a Pokemon, and you knock out one of theirs, they're gonna send out a Pokemon that's stronger, in type compared to yours, so you just gotta keep that in mind. Once you've knocked out one of his Pokemon, the next one's probably gonna be stronger than yours, so you might have to swap out as well. It always seems to do that with the AI. So keep that in mind. If you knock out a Pokemon, be wary of the next Pokemon. You're probably gonna have to swap out. But Kyurem's actually done well. Kyurem got knocked out, but Nido King's got such little health left. I've got Mewtwo still. Hopefully we can get the first shots in. If we can attack first, we might be able to knock out the rest of his team. Nido King's gone. And now Zapdos. If we can one-shot Zapdos, then we've got it. And we do, so Zapdos is a bit of a flying type, so we knocked that out. We beat all 12 of Professor Oak's Pokemon. It is a challenge. Just keep a few of my pointers in mind. Be aware of which Pokemon he sends out next. And he gives us an Eevee now, which is really cool. It's a stronger, unique Eevee. So if you like Eevee, now's a chance to raise one up, and we get the Z-Power move for Eevee, so you can evolve it into any of the Pokemon. Really cool battle. Now, there's not much left in the game. There is a battle here that a lot of people don't know about. It's the Falconer battle. A lot of people forget about it or don't realize it's actually a thing. So you've got to come here to the power plant, go through the whole power plant as you would normally. I did mention before that you can catch Zapdos and Galarian Zapdos here. And in this raid den right here, there are a lot of legendaries. You can get a lot of the Tapu. You can get Tapu Koko. You can get Zeraora, sorry. That is a raid den with legendaries, so just go there and go on different days and change the time. But when you go through the power plant, there's a new little entrance in the cave that we've entered, and inside the cave is Falconer. So you can only go and challenge him after you're the Pokemon champion, and he is a flying type trainer, so make sure you have some ice attacks or electric attacks. He wasn't too much of a challenge, to be honest, as I do have some strong electric attacks in my team. But after you defeat Falconer, you are in a cool cave, and there is a legendary Pokemon in the cave. But I'll explain that as soon as I've defeated him. He does send out a Shaman, which isn't a flying type, and it is a pseudo-legendary. And the Shaman is a Pokemon that also can change forms. So if you catch Shaman, there is a way to change its form, if Shaman interests you. And like I said, towards the end of the game in the Sevi Islands and after, a lot of your opponents have legendary Pokemon. He sends out a Yanmega next. We knock it out fairly easily, bug and flying. And he's got an Enamorus, which was a legendary that was super hard to get. I actually wanted to tell you guys how to get Enamorus, because it becomes a roaming Pokemon, but it isn't a roaming Pokemon. Oh wow, and he sent out a Ho-Oh. I don't think you can even get Ho-Oh in the game without cheats, but that is one of my favorite legendary Pokemon. Ho-Oh is an absolute beast. And I believe when you're battling Ho-Oh now, you knock it out and then it comes back alive again, like a phoenix. It rises from the ashes again. So here we just knocked it out and I thought we had it. And he must have a special ability to bring him back to life again. He came back with half of his health, which was crazy. I wasn't expecting that at all. But we did knock him out again. But yes, back to what I was saying with Enamorus. Once you've caught all the roaming Pokemon, if you want to do that, if you go to the first Sevi Island where I showed you the battle simulator, if you win, I'm not sure if it was 10 or 11 battles in a row, it could be 11, then you will unlock Enamorus. He will get added to your roaming Pokemon, so he'll be another Pokemon roaming. But it is really hard to get 10 or 11 battles won in the battle simulator in a row. But that's how you do get Enamorus, and you can also change its form. And as I showed you in that cave, there's those little white buttons. You've got to move 3 stones onto the buttons. It's fairly tricky, but quite easy. And then you'll unlock Magearna, the legendary Pokemon, and you can catch it. I did catch it there, but I didn't show it in the video. I wanted to keep that for you guys. And now we're at the final battle of the game. We are here on the first Sevi Island, and we have found Ash or Red. These are the Pokemon you can catch in this area, and this will be the final battle in the game until the next update. But you are challenged by Trainer Red. He's got Ash's team, the same team that he had in the anime. So he first sends out this crazy Pikachu. It's like a dressed up Lombre Pikachu. And all of his Pokemon are level 100. It is a tough battle. We do knock out his Pikachu with one shot, so that was pretty good. I wanted to get his Pikachu out the way. He sends out a Mewtwo, which is crazy, because I have a Mewtwo. How are there two Mewtwo's? But his Mewtwo can Mega Evolve with the Mewtwo X. I've got the Mewtwo Y. So my Mewtwo looks different to his. And I think his is stronger in physical attacks, and mine is stronger in special attacks. So we knock out his Mewtwo. He then sends out Snorlax, because Ash does have Snorlax. And he knocks out my Ultra Necrozma, but Ultra Necrozma did really well. We took out two of his Pokemon and did some serious damage to Snorlax. And I send out Zeraora, because he's an electric type, so he should be able to knock out Snorlax. He's electric and fighting, so it's like a normal Pokemon's worst nightmare. But then he sends out Venusaur. I don't have any fire attacks, but I do have a flying attack, which is effective against grass types. So I did add that attack in just to try make Zeraora more diverse. That's what really helps to teach a Pokemon different attacks with different types, especially at the end game, because you need to have at least one attack that's pretty much effective. I do swap out Dragapult because his speed is really fast and he's got a fire attack. I thought I would have knocked him out, but I didn't. And he put me to sleep. This Venusaur is so annoying because he tries to put all your Pokemon asleep, and then you don't know how long it's gonna take until you can wake up again. It's just a matter of luck. And he knocks out Dragapult, unfortunately, but I still have 3 Pokemon left. I'm gonna send out Kyurem. I think Kyurem is a super underrated Pokemon. He's a beast, he's a legendary. Kyurem and Reshiram. And there's also a white Kyurem. I'm not sure where to catch white Kyurem, or if you can, but I need to look into that. He then sends out a Blastoise. So Ash's team is really sick, and it Mega Evolves. So a lot of his Pokemon are Mega Evolving, more than one. Knocks out my Kyurem, but we still got my secret weapon. We got Mewtwo, and I can Mega Evolve as well. And I did teach Mewtwo a grass type attack, which I looked at my team recently, and I didn't have a lot of grass attacks. And that was making my team quite weak. So I thought I'd add one grass attack to Mewtwo. You've got to try cover all your bases. If there's a top attack that you are missing from your team, try and add it to one of your Pokemon. Otherwise, you are going to be at a disadvantage. He sends out Charizard, and he's got the Mega Charizard. He does knock out my Mewtwo, but we've done so much damage. I've got 1 Pokemon left with full health, got my Hooper, and I did change Hooper's form, so he's even stronger. When you normally catch Hooper, he's 600 base points, base stats, and when you change his form, he goes up to 680, so he's pretty much on par with Ultra Necrozma. We do knock out Red. It was an awesome battle. It was so cool that they added him in here. You do get Mewtwo X, so I've got both of the Mewtwo stones, and he gives you a special Pikachu Libre with Aura Wheel and 252 EVs in all stats. In the game, every Pokemon can only have 251 stats, but this Pikachu is unique. It's just got 1 extra EV point, so it's technically one of the strongest Pokemon in the game. Really awesome prize to get. We're gonna have a look at that Pikachu he gave us now. So it's awesome fighting and electric type. You can look at its EVs, all level 252, which is kind of like a glitch in the game. Makes it super strong. So if you like Pikachu, here you've got a Pikachu that's electric and fighting with a cool attack or a wheel. And that's about it for the game. We've defeated Ash. That's pretty much the highlight of the game. We're just going to take a look at some of my legendary Pokemon I've caught. We've caught Ice Rider and Ice Rider Calyrex. We've got Latios, Latios. We've got Tornadus, Thunderous, Enamorus, Volcanion. We've got Charizard, Blastoise, Umbreon. We got the legendary birds, all the Galarian forms. We've got all the Reggie Pokemon, Reggie Ice, Reggie Rock, Reggie Steel. We got the dogs, Suicune, Entei, Raikou. We got Magearna, and then at the bottom we got all these Pokemon that are Ultra Beasts. There's about 10 of them. We got all the Tapu Pokemon. We got Malueta. We got Genesect. We got all the new legendaries. Chinpao, Chiyu. We got Jirachi, Celebi, Victini, Mew, Marshadow. We got so many awesome Pokemon. If you have any questions where you want to find these legendaries, then drop a comment below. I'm going to show you my team quickly. So you can have a browse how I got to the end of the game. And yeah, if you enjoyed this walkthrough, leave a comment below. Let me know if there's another ROM hack you'd like me to do. Thanks so much for watching, guys. This has been so much fun. Definitely my #1 ROM hack game I've ever played. See you in the next one.